Welcome to our second video regarding prepayments to vendors. This method is what I call pay from prepaid. And I created this method a long time ago and it works perfectly and it gets you as close as you can possibly get to having everything work perfectly. There are different situations and therefore there are different methods of recording prepaid expenses to vendors. However, the pay from prepaid method is for any expense that you pay a vendor for in advance. And again, it was invented by me, Mark Smolen, and it works perfectly if you listen carefully and follow the steps. The pay from prepaid method has as its priority the trial balance and chart of accounts being correct. It means that if you use this method at any given moment, all your accounts in your general ledger will have the correct balance. It's also true that the vendor will have a record of every single event where you paid in advance and received the service. The only negative thing is that in the vendor records, even though you will have a list of every event, every payment to the vendor, and every moment that you received the service, but unfortunately this method won't give you a running balance of what the vendor owes you from what you prepaid. However, there is a way to work around this, and I'm going to give you a bonus video after this one to show you just a few simple steps so that you can get the running balance of the vendor and still use this method. To set up for this method, you have to create a bank type of account called prepaid expense. Now, this is something called a workaround. It means we're not using QuickBooks exactly the way we're supposed to, but by using QuickBooks in this way, it will give us everything we need as simply as possible. In our example, the prepaid account will be prepaid cleaning expense. For example, let's imagine on May 17th, we paid Dan's Cleaning, one of our vendors, $500 in advance for 3 future cleaning engagements, and we paid Dan on May 17th with check number 161. Now, at the moment that you pay for anything, cash in the bank goes down. However, in this case, your general ledger will be correct, and prepaid cleaning expense will go up at the moment that you pay. Let's take a look at how to record it. From the main menu, click Banking, write a check. Now, the date that you actually paid Dan was May 17th. The money amount was $500, and the check number was 161. Now, the person or the vendor whom you paid was Dan's Cleaning, and the money is going from your cash and bank account to this account, prepaid cleaning expense. This is a bank type of account that I put in the chart of accounts before I made the video. Right now, prepaid cleaning expense is 0, but after we click Save and Close, you can look at the trial balance and see that prepaid cleaning expense shows up for the first time as $500. Now, the interesting part comes when we actually receive the service from Dan's Cleaning. On May 18, we received the first cleaning service, $200 worth of cleaning, and he gave us a paid bill to acknowledge the event of the service. Now, in order to record this, we will use the Write a Checks window. Remember, it's a workaround. That's the reason why we're using a window that you wouldn't think we would normally use, but it will work out perfectly. On the top of the window, select the Pay From Prepaid account as the account you're paying from, and at the bottom of the window, select the actual expense of the service you received. Let's take a look at how we would record this. From the main menu, click Banking, write a check. Now, on the top, you want to choose prepaid cleaning expense, which is the bank type of account that we added for this situation. So the money is coming from the prepaid account, and it's going to the actual cleaning expense account. The bill number is what occupies the check number field because that's the transaction number, 87876. So we could even put bill number 87876. The date, of course, was May 18th. The vendor was Dan's Cleaning Service, and the money amount of the service we received, the value of the service we received against our $500 deposit is $200. So again, the top is prepaid cleaning, the bottom is cleaning expense. The money amount is the amount of service we received on the 18th, and the bill number goes here. Now, when we click Save and Close, we can look at the trial balance and see prepaid cleaning expense has properly decreased to its balance of $300 because that's the remaining amount of service that we will receive in the future. You will also notice that cleaning expense now shows up for the first time as $200 because that's the amount that we actually used. Now, when we look at the vendor records, the proper report to show the vendor records properly when it comes to prepaid is transaction list by vendor. Transaction list by vendor. Now we push A for all, and we scroll down to Dan's Cleaning Service. And you can see this does keep very accurate records of Dan's Cleaning Service and the transactions we have. Notice that the check on May 17th for $500 means Dan owes us $500. And then notice the bill that Dan gave us on May 18th decreases the balance by $200. So you can see that you still have every payment and every service listed in the vendor records if you use transaction list by vendor, and you can see it's also in chronological order. So you do have most of what you need if you use this method. The only thing you don't have is the running balance. Now you may have to export this report to Excel if you really need the running balance. It would be just 3 simple clicks to export this report to Excel, and I'm going to give you a bonus video, which is just a few minutes, that will explain how to use Excel to get the running balance, meaning the balance of that the vendor owes you for the prepaid at any given moment in time. It's very rare that people need this and need this in a report, but if you do, I'm going to make a very simple video that's only a couple of minutes long that will show you step by step what you must do in Excel to take the QuickBooks report, the transaction list by vendor, and make it into a running balance so you know specifically what that vendor owes you at any given moment.